Hello everybody, let's talk about love today. It's the month of February, the month of love. We just passed St. Valentine's Day and I felt inspired to talk about love again. It's been a long time since I've talked about it, although it seems like that's always what I'm talking about, but in a different way, from a different angle. It's all about love at the end of the day. And yes, I guess one could see that through all of my shorts and longer form videos. By the way, if you know me, if you follow my work a little bit, I do a lot of shorts, but I do those deep dive where we get to spend a little bit more time, take our time on a subject, and that's what I want to do today. So I grabbed my tea just before that. Almost done now because I recorded the 20-minute version of this video in French. It's going to be shorter this time around. It's always easier for me to express my ideas in English. They seem to go out in a more concise way. So if you feel like it, yes, please, let's have a sip, spend some time together and talk about love. I wrote a magazine, no, not yet, but I wrote an article for Brainz Magazine last week about love. And that's where I'm coming from to expose a few my own ideas on the subject. Before I get there, I want to preface this by saying, why am I qualified to talk about love? You know, it seems a little bit weird to make a video and invite people to explore love in a different way if you haven't experienced it for yourself. So I think we can all agree that, and you can certainly agree that we love in accordance to what we've learned about it. It is my belief that we come into this world as a pure ball of love. Just love. And then our experiences, our environment, the people that are around us, and what we go through in our lives are sculpting us in one way about love. And it's the way we show up in our life for ourselves and with others. And love is a reflection of what we've learned. And in my case, well, I've learned both sides of the coin, if I can put it this way. I was loved by parents and family, and I was also misloved, or I don't know how to express it differently than, you know, being a 6-year-old getting thrown out of your house with your brown bag to go to your grandparents because one of the parents doesn't want to see you anymore. Well, that leaves an impact on how you deal with love. And, you know, getting beat up a little bit also leaves an impact on love. You know, physical abuse and psychological abuse tends to leave a mark on how you see and how we are in love. And that's where I was coming from. And I remember one of my friends, CEO, told me, you know, how were you able to keep your, you know, this loving flame alive within you with everything that you went through? And I guess, I don't know, it was within me. I always refused to turn my back on love. I don't know why it was like that. I guess I was also helped by loving people in my life, you know, that kept the spark and the hope going that, yeah, we need to believe in love, and it is there for us to taste and experience. All right, that was a long preface. If you're still with me, I hope I gave a little bit of credibility about what I'm going to share here now when it comes to love. It's a little bit unpopular, I think. What am I going to share? But more and more people are grasping it and are seeing that. The love that we seek for ourselves and in our relationships, whether they're intimate, with spouses, kids, family, or at work, or with friends. This love that we seek can never come outside. That's the problem. We're seeking it. If we expect to feel love, experience it, taste it, because of external events, from the situations we're in, like, a good activity, a beautiful restaurant and the space, or the people, the conversations we're having, the people we're surrounded with. If we're expecting love, if we expect to feel love that way, and everything that comes from outside, somehow we're doomed. Because what we've learned about love and all the filters we apply to it would always catch up to us, and then we'll always end up saying, it shouldn't be that way, or I'd like it to be that way so that I can feel love. That's never going to happen, because just life unfolds as it does, according to whatever what. Let's not even try to comprehend why life unfolds as it is. And it just does. And then if we need to control things and people and situations in order for us to feel love, then it's doomed. It's never going to happen. And it's why it's always an inside job. And it's why people are saying, you want to be in a loving relationship, start by loving yourself. Yeah, makes sense, right? And oftentimes that's a long journey for us. It's a long journey because what we've learned in regards of love is playing against us. That's what it did for me in many of the relationships that I've had with women. That's why it led to a divorce. My own conceptions and filters about love misled me, so to speak. And it's only when I was able to do the deep dive and heal myself, start to love myself, and start to see love from a different angle, that I could start to experience it more. I could start to welcome it more in my life. I could start to taste it more. And it wasn't evading me in my life as much. And sometimes I could see it going away, and I was able to just, no, come back. Let me change things around here and make love to you again. Make love to love. That's a good one. People, situation, circumstances will never be the way you want it to be so that you can feel love. Forget about it. So what do we do? Where do we start? Well, we start from within. We got to make a shift. Mental, emotional. We can't let those outside event dictate whether or not we're going to experience love. I gave this analogy in a YouTube short, I think. Love is a bit like the sun. It's always shining. When clouds are passing by, or when you're going through a day that is cloudy, as today, We can't even see the sun right now. Do you know that? I mean, is the sun gone? Is it not there anymore? Well, of course not. We both know that the sun is still shining. It's just that clouds are passing by. It's the same thing with love. Love is always shining, and sometimes clouds, obstacles, people, situations are passing by, and they seem to block love. But in reality, love is always there. We just got to know and connect to that by our own means. I don't know if that resonates, but I'm trying to give you an analogy here to play with this, with me. Let me give you a real life example that I gave in a previous video that I recorded. It happened to me once that after a day of work, I decided to go to the living room and turn on the TV. I'm not a big TV guy, but sometimes I'll just watch, a documentary or a movie. I always liked movies, it brings me into a world, and I always enjoyed it. Anyways, so here I am watching a bit of TV, and my partner got in and said, as soon as she got in, she said, "Wow, already in front of the TV." Now, I can already sense you thinking about what your own reaction would be and how you would feel about that. Well, it goes in both ways, right? It's either this comment that we receive from our partners or apply to whatever situation that you might have gone through lately at work or with the kids or family or whatnot. A comment sparks something within you. These two, the hearts and the head, they work in cahoots. Now, if you feel something weird, that's gonna just kick in right away, and it's gonna start to say a bunch of stupid things, and they're gonna work together to resist, fight, ruminate, whatnot. Hence, it's pretty easy in those situations to react without love, right? Like, before the door got open, love was there. It was pretty cool. Watching my thing, was having a good time, love was there. And then the door opens and the comment could just let the love go out the door right away. It could, if I let it be. The Stoics comes to mind here. Even Viktor Frankl comes to mind. The man lived through the Holocaust and was a prisoner in a camp, and yet he was able to keep love and that flame within him going. And one of the fundamental teachings that I remember from him is, this is how we framed it. I just love it. There is going to be stimulus in our lives, and we're always gonna have a response. But between the two, we have a choice. In this case, stimulus being, hey, already in front of the TV? Ooh, stimulus. What's gonna be my response? I could say, wow, beautiful way to come back home. How was your day? Or I could say something like that, and then let my own stuff come up and dictate how my partner coming home will turn out. If I do that, love is going out the door for this time being, and maybe for a couple of minutes or hours, depending on who we are, right? Or I could choose to just say, yeah, you know what? I had a good day, felt I want to relax a little bit, and here I am. Or I could just acknowledge that, whoa, okay, that's a bit rough. But I don't know. Let me not judge it. I'll just let it be, whatever. I could choose to do that too. And the response will be quite different. The dynamic would be quite different. And if I'm able to do that, well, I'm seeing through the clouds. I know the love is still there, it's still shining. Do you get it? You get what I mean? It's simple, but it's not easy to do. On our own spiritual path, on our own heroic journey, we all face those situations and circumstances and people that will challenge us this way. And it's about going back to the sense of love that is always there, that is not filtered through our own stuff, which is coming from our experiences, and blah, blah, blah. Going back to that pure essence loving space that we are, and learning, or unlearning, should I say, all of those bad habits and traumas and conditionings and patterns that we have, so that we can bypass all this and still connect to love, because it's always there. I got shivers just sharing that, so that means something to me. The energy is passing now. I'll put the link to the Brainz Magazine article that I wrote. I'm giving a different spin on it in the article, where I talk about the self, with the, capital S, and the self with a small s. That might be able to help you also do the distinction between where you're coming from, your ego, or your higher self, your divine self, your highest loving self. So let's close on this. I'm inviting you through this video about love to see it from a different angle, to see that all of the situations and the people and the circumstances you're facing that might leave you with a feeling of emptiness, you feel that love is just evading when those moments are happening. I'm inviting you to see it from a perspective of, how can I interact with those moments differently? What is it that I need to change within, heal within, transform, so that the next time they show up, I can dance with this differently. And I can still feel and taste and smell love, whatever is happening. Maybe I'll do a part 2 of that video where I'll dive deeper into those interpersonal relationships that we're having, especially the romantic ones. That's where we get triggered the most when it love-wise. Rightfully so. We're open, we're authentic, and it seems like our partners are pressing right on the perfect buttons to challenge us. And that's an opportunity in itself, a beautiful one, it's a blessing. It doesn't mean that you have to live with that person for the rest of your life, and you have to be married and you can't divorce, or it doesn't mean any of that. But there's beautiful opportunities to heal and love ourselves more and love the other person more within that as well. Part 2. I'll do a video part 2 on this. For now, just remember that you always got a choice to be loving are to be unloving with yourself and others. So, dear friends, beautiful souls, I will invite you to connect to your higher self, connect to your hearts of heart. Be a visionary in those moments. Come from love, act from love. Don't let your fears and your conditionings and your past experiences disturb you. Yeah. I trust that you're loving, that you're beautiful, that you're a generous soul, and shine from that place. Do the work. It's worth it. I'd love to hear your comments. Let me know if this resonates, if the analogies made sense, and if you feel like you need a little bit of a, in French they say coup de pouce, you know, a little bit of a help. Well, reach out, and it'll be my pleasure to see if we can come from a loving space together. All right, enough for today. Thank you. Until next time, sending you a lot of love. Cheers.